Welcome back to another episode of Runner and Son. We are going to talk through some big goals for 2026, right? We have the Underdown and we have the Kettle 100. We'll be going through some, looking at the courses and talking about some of the challenges we have coming up. I'm Runner.
I'm Son.
And this is Runner and Son. Welcome back to Runner and Son. We have an episode to talk about our two big A races we have happening this year. So, Alex, yours is?
The Underdown Heineman Mills Marathon.
Marathon. Full marathon distance in the trails and double the distance that you've run so far. What I have coming up is a 100-miler. I have the Kettle 100 that takes place in the southern Kettle Moraine. And if you can see in some of our previous episodes, the Kettle Moraine is this big area that's been carved out by glacial activity. I brought the laptop because I wanted to sort of show the viewers along with what we're talking about. Most of them start on a website like this. This is Ultra Sign Up. So this is the Ultra Sign Up site for the Kettle Moraine 100. Now, the Kettle Moraine 100 is a lottery race. That means that they expect that there's not going to be enough spots, right? That more people are going to enter than there will be room to race. They have a cap on racers. It's also a qualifier for Western states, which means that if I finish in under 30 hours, I will be able to enter the lottery for Western states. So that's also a big deal too. I haven't thought about whether that's the intention or not, but I'm thinking about just finishing it first.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at the Ultra sign up here. It's sort of cool. There's sort of a splash page for everything, and you can enter on it. You can register, and you can also see like a list of entrants on here, which is interesting. Because they rank you based on your previous results. So I'll take a look at where I'm ranked. I think I'm like 30th down in the list here. Yeah, so right here. And it is saying I'm going to finish in under 20 hours. That's optimistic, I think. So, but it's sort of a neat tool. It just takes your previous races that you've had on Ultra Sign Up, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. So there are 77 people in the wait list. I think there's 277 in the, they're actually in the race. So not a huge wait list, and a lot of these people will actually get to race. As the season goes on, a lot of the entrants will drop out, right? They'll say, I am not prepared enough. I have an injury that's developed. I have a wedding that's on that date now, so
Yeah.
a lot of those 277 will drop out. The wait list should get in. But it's sort of an interesting thing to go through that lottery. We entered the lottery on, I think it was in December, the whole month of December, and then January 1st, they drew the lottery. And I don't know if you remember that. I was watching it upstairs.
Yeah.
You watch it live as they read through this list of, 277 numbers,
Yeah.
and they go very slowly. So I was listening to it for about an hour when they finally said my name.
And Thomas Vanderpew from Sheboygan.
And I knew I was in.
Weren't you like the last one on the second to last page?
Yes, I was. So I just had the phone with me while I was walking around the house, and I think I let out a bit of a whoop when I heard that I got in. I don't know if you heard that or not.
I came upstairs and I heard you guys, and you're like, I won the lottery, and I'm like,
What kind of lottery?
I didn't know you played the lottery. And then he's like, no, the running lottery.
It's a lottery of fame.
How exciting.
So the prize of the lottery is you get to pay $388. 100-milers are not cheap. That's very standard from what I've seen. I think Mines of Spain 100 is very similar. You made a face when I said that.
$3.88 per mile.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Now I'm going to be thinking like that the whole time. Cha-ching, just throwing. I'm going to have like a wad of cash in my
Yeah.
my hydration vest, just throwing bills out. So thank you, Alex. So let's take a look at the race website. Not going to go too deep here, but it has some really neat tools. It's very well done, and there's some things that I wanted to show. So it shows a bit about the race course. So we're doing the 100-miler, 8,800 feet. So that's very mild for a 100-mile race. The 100K I did, Mines of Spain, was about the same elevation.
Yeah.
So this is stretched out over 100 miles, not too much climbing. They got a neat map here. It shows you the whole sort of layout of the trail and the aid stations, and then shows you it's basically 2 big out and backs. We'll take a little bit more look at that. They have GPX files to put in Strava or other software. And then they have this sort of aid spreadsheet here, which is nice. It tells you where your aid stations are, where there's crew access, the mileage, and you can add your own columns here, when you expect to be there, what gels or stuff that you want your crew to have. Just great for planning crew access and work. So there are cutoffs. The 50-miler I did had cutoffs. I think Mines of Spain did too, but they're very lenient. This, I believe, is also quite lenient. So here's the first big one. It is at mile 63.9, so a little over 100K distance, 12:30 a.m. Sunday. So I expect to be there. I'm shooting for a 24-hour race time overall. So I expect to be there at about 7 p.m.
So is that a little before dark? Or
Yeah, a little before dark. And we'll look at that dark chart that I showed you
Yeah.
we can actually check where it is. And then the next one is at Rice Lake, where I'll be picking up you. That's 6:30 a.m. I expect to be there 1 in the morning. Through the race course website, they have this Ultra Pacer link where they put all the data into there. And it's pretty neat. So I put in my run time. So I have a plan in here. I can edit the plan. It shows me elevation, it shows me aid stations, and then I can set up my plan for a target, right? So I'm going to choose 24 hours. Event start time, aid station delays is 3 minutes. That's probably a little bit optimistic as well. Probably be more like 5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, especially towards the end.
Especially towards the end. And then you can actually say how far you want to stay ahead of cutoffs. Now we, like I mentioned, intend to be way ahead of cutoffs. So I'm not concerned about that. The other thing that's not on there is sleep. So 100-mile distance, a lot of people will do something called a dirt nap, where you basically roll off the course into the woods and close your eyes for a few minutes. I've heard that it is rejuvenating, that it is really a game changer. So we'll take a little bit of a look here. There might be a dirt nap involved, so that could throw our timing off, but this will help us plan for crewing, right? So if we take a look when I'll pick up my first pacer in Nordic here, that's going to be at 8 p.m. And I think that's going to be either Ruth, my wife, your mother, or Mrs. Horvath, who's a friend. And so we will run 10 miles to Rice Lake, where I will pick up Alex.
That's me.
And he'll be ready to go at 1 in the morning in the middle of the night to run with Dad.
Yeah. I'll have to remember to wake you up if you decide to take any naps on my shift.
And if I roll into the dirt, you're going to kick me a few times and say, "Let's go, Dad."
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually, there's a lot of runners who do stuff like that. They say, if I want to stop, you don't let me stop. It doesn't matter what I say, keep me going. So We would then have a 20-mile run to the end. So that's gonna be intense. That will be the longest run that you've ever had.
At that point.
Yes, ahead of your marathon. So it's good marathon training, even though it's a little bit ahead of time. So they also have this neat chart right here. It's course profile, and it tells you when it gets dark. So this is in June 13, so it's basically the longest day of the year. It's very close. Twilight, so we're looking at around mile 68 gets night. So 80 is when I pick up Alex, dead of night, and then we will run about mile 96, 95. So from miles 68 to 95, it's going to be night. You know, we're going to talk about what our biggest challenge is for these races. I think I'm looking at it with this night section.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be tired going into it. It's going to be mile 68, longer than I've ever run. And then we're running through the night. And possibly more tripping hazards. I've run in the dark for hours, but there's no way I've run through the night like this. So your race. So this is the Underdown. It's 60K marathon, half marathon. You're doing the marathon. I'm doing the 60K.
I did this race last year as a half marathon.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was my most physically and mentally testing race at that point.
It is up and down and all sorts of crazy terrain. So here's the map of it. Like I said, look at the terrain here. It's wild. It's just all sorts of, like you said, potholes and lakes and, you know, up and down and little hills and valleys. So we're going to start here, right here at the Prairie Dells trailhead. Prairie Dells is Alex's favorite part of the race. We'll get to that. We'll head up here. And this is where you turned around last year, right? Half marathon cutoff?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And we keep going and just, you know, look at the twisting nature of this course. It's a mountain bike course. And it's got a lot of crazy loops and things like that. So it's our second aid station here. There's the short bike cutoff. We'll be doing this with Uncle and your cousin. They'll be doing the bike race too, so that'll be fun. You are going to go out around here and then do the marathon cutoff. I will continue up into this section, and this stinks. You don't want to be here. It's wide open, which means if it's sunny, it's hot, and if it's raining, you're wet. So then you'll come back down here, back down to the Prairie Dells section. So why don't you just give a quick rendition of your thoughts of the Prairie Dells?
Yeah, so nice things about the Prairie Dells, it's pretty open. There's not a lot of hard terrain. It's flat. That's all about all the nice things about it. So up here, this section is really like back and forth. You can see the course you're going to run on like multiple times, and then it takes you a while to actually get there.
Yes.
And then
You're sort of in limbo.
this section is like 9 miles long, I think. So.
And that water station right there is the one where it was out of water when I got to it,
Yes.
which was fun.
You get 9 straight miles without an actual aid station. You get this water section.
That's a long stretch. So what do you think your biggest challenge is going to be in this race?
Honestly, I think it's going to be coming out of the rough terrain and then sinking into the marshes. And
Sure.
I feel like
Getting through the Prairie Dells at the end there.
Yeah, honestly, the Prairie Dells are going to most likely be my low point, I feel like.
Elevation-wise and spirit-wise, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end, I'm planning to come out of there triumphant.
Okay. All right, man. Let's go. I love the spirit. So this was just a quick preview. I wanted to show you. Oh, and cost-wise, I don't think it's available on the website, but this one is a much cheaper race. $65 for the 60K, $50 for the marathon.
Yeah.
So a little bit different than $388 for the 100-miler.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more bare bones. you pay for what you get, but it's a great race. And these are fun to do too. They don't cost you much money. You can drive to them. So anyways, thank you for joining us as we talk about some of our big goals. Encourage you to set some big goals. That's a way to keep yourself going, keep yourself training. As we come out of winter here, it's like, it's time to train. We got goals on the calendar. We got to go. So keep you motivated. We put in a couple miles tonight even. And just happy to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Love to hear what you guys have to say. And keep running and keep an eye open for our next episodes. We'll talk to you later.